Joe Diomede, TTRP TV, sitting here in Mumble Bocage with my friend here, Duncan Bridgeman, and he's making the bridge between here and France. I'm sorry, we are in France, between France and England, because he resides in Bristol. And Duncan's had an interesting career, and he's done a few interesting projects. One that I'm aware about is called One Giant Leap, and that happened back in, what year was that, Duncan?
Well, it's very nice to be here in the south of France by the Pyrenees. The chickens clucking and the beautiful market this morning. Really nice. And I've been coming here. I used to have a house down here about 20 years ago. And this is where how Ben, my friend, I'm down here visiting him. And so we're really old friends. And you can't make old friends.
No, you can't make old friends, no.
It's really, I feel it's nice. We've got that nice old friend feel.
And I actually know where you used to live because I did a cycle ride, and a friend of mine lives not far from you, Fodil. He bought a house, and I've been up to the old region of your...
Yeah, the Cathal region.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Anyway, I'm not there anymore, and that's all history. So
that was the bridge.
It's one of the bridges. One of the bridges. Yeah. And what I'm doing here is I'm producing some music for him. And the question you asked me was, One Giant Leap, yes, it was 20 years ago. And what's been going on this year, it's the 20-year anniversary. And so what I've done, there's this new software that turns SD footage into full 4K HD thing. And it's not that expensive. So I ran all the One Giant Leap films through it and got 4K versions. And I put this new AI plugins that like you can put your mixes through and they just like do things. And as an old school engineer who's used to kind of knobs and buttons, it's a bit scary because you really often you just got to go on or off. And there's this one I've got called Gulfos is one of the ones. You put it on and it somehow makes space. Anyway, so I mean, bringing it all up to date and remastering it to celebrate 20-year anniversary. And
before my audience gets too lost, what was One Giant Leap?
Okay, One Giant Leap. I was brought up in the 70s. I was a 14-year-old in 1973. So I was built for like Zeppelin, Yes, Genesis, Bob Marley. But anyway, everything.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I was carrying that spirit, and One Giant Leap was the opportunity. I don't know how it happened. It's just one of those things where I'd written a load of music with my friend Jamie, and we were in that kind of long form idea, but plus the Radiohead sensibility and the kind of looping techno vibe that had grown since then. And then I took these tracks that we'd made. Chris Blackwell gave us the opportunity to go around the world with this. We had one of the early laptops. So we took the laptop with us and we had this music in the laptop. And then when we turn up in Senegal, like we found Baba Mal. We went to see Baba Mal because we'd sampled him. Okay. So we'd say, look, we sampled you, but we don't really want to use a sample. So he did the new version. I mean, obviously way beyond what the sample was. And we carried on around the world doing that. And then this album grew, which we called One Giant Leap. And we filmed all the things we were doing, not because we really knew where it was going to go. We just thought, okay, let's just film everything. And as we're traveling, why don't we ask people questions about life? What happens after you die? Where does inspiration come from? Just really basic, wide open questions and just see what people said. So, for example, we spoke to a lot of people saying, what do you think happens after you die? And we kind of edit it together into a conversation, cut that into the music. So each conversation has maybe 16 bars or always has the musical language. So when the guy at the end says the punchline, then the singer comes in on the chorus, maybe mirroring what the guy just said, because it's a constantly growing thing. Anyway, we did that and we got nominated for Grammys, and that was in 2002 where we handed it in. And then we did another one called What About Me, which we did for 19 Entertainment for Simon Fuller, who was the guy behind American Idol.
Okay.
And we did another monstrous 5-year project, and unfortunately it never really got released. Right. So we have recently just got the rights back to that. So we've got that. Although it's 10 years, 15 years ago that we did it, it's still weirdly current. Yeah. So we're polishing that up, and that's the idea is probably... It was meant to be this year, the 20th, but I kind of missed it because trying to negotiate all the rights is a tricky one. Right. Yeah. It always takes a lot longer than you think. But we're getting there, and So probably next year we might even go for the 25th anniversary now, because that gives a nice slow. Because things happen really slowly nowadays.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't be in a hurry. There's no point in trying to. You just got to go at the speed.
And you grew up in an era where things weren't rushed.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right.
And now I think the COVID experience that we all had of going home and spending a bit of quiet time. I know we all met different troubles and joys within that, but it was a good opening, I think, for humanity. Actually went home, went back with his family,
Yeah.
and had a little think.
And chill. There was the big chill out.
Yeah, and even if they didn't chill, like some were lucky to chill, but it was really tricky as well. Like it was a wave of anxiety at the same time.
Hey, and, yeah, the backlash of lockdown is not proving to be very good,
No,
But in the time, some people benefited, many didn't. But yeah, it was a time we all went through.
It's good as well. It's good now what's happening. I think things we've all had a little think, and everybody's priorities have shifted. I mean, obviously the world's in chaos, but that's not the important bit. Is inside.
Yeah.
Anyway, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah, and then your one giant leap turned to Hecho en Mexico.
Yeah, then I went to Mexico for 2 years, and I did the same format, music-led, philosophy, documentary type thing, and I got financed locally and made it locally, and was really got a reasonable budget to walk around Mexico, giving money to musicians and thinkers, and I had a really great time for 2 years, and made this beautiful film, and it did all right. It was released in the cinemas in Mexico. So yeah, that was an incredible experience.
Wow. So hop back to today now.
Yes.
You're recording. Like I said, you're here to record. You've recorded some other artists, and you were telling me about some hip hop artist who does mantras. So tell me about that.
Antama, there's this guy Antama. I've just finished helping him with his album, and he's like he's a mantra maniac. He's been to India a lot, and he will chant the 1,008 names of God all day long for days and days. He really goes in deep, and then he sings the Icaros from the Amazon, and he speaks Portuguese, and he's cool with that. But fundamentally, he's a Southeast London rapper. He's from Lewisham.
Right. Okay.
And he's really cool, and he's been through the whole dysfunctional school education, finding his religious place, his spiritual place, and then following the different traditions, especially between the Amazonian culture and the Indian culture. He's in India at the moment with his guru, with his teacher.
So wow, I mean, a very eclectic mix of stuff you've done over the years. And the last one you were just telling me about, Amy Gomez, Nessie Gomez. Yeah, so fill me in on that one. That one sounded really interesting. Well, they all do, but this is current and happening, and you're doing it now. Yeah.
Thank you. Nessie. I produced her album Diamonds and Demons in about 2016, I think, around that time. Mm-hmm. And things move really slowly now. Again, like I was saying, like you put something out, don't expect anybody to just rush upon it. I mean, maybe there's some people in the world, like Coldplay or something, people will rush. But generally, things move slower. So anyway, so now, nearly 10 years on, she's got, like 9 million hits on one of the tracks, and she's doing great big concerts. And it's really beautiful, slow. And she just carried on singing and working, and whether it's 10 people or 100 people, she's really generous with her.
And that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
People think, oh, with YouTube, I'm going to put something out, I'm going to get 1 million hits on my first day. Those people who get 1 million hits have been doing it for 10 years,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Cool. And so now here we are in the waning light of a beautiful day in Mumbrun. And like you said, we had the great market, and the vibe here probably brings you back to the 70s a bit, this market.
Yeah. It's a little window of freedom going on down here, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's a different place to be, and yeah, very, very cool place to be. And so it's nice having you here because we've met a few times, and now we are going into the project that you're doing now. You're recording a local group called the Updrafters, Ben and Benoit. And what are you doing with them? You're just doing a crash. You're here for 5 days, 6 days, just recording every day with them?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to do. I fly out next Sunday, so we're going to work we start tomorrow. And yeah, I don't know exactly. We've just been talking about that. Whether we want to do a lot of tracks in a very simple form, or do we want to do just fewer tracks and produce them more. And so we're going to get together. We've got the space. We've got all the kit here. We'll set it up, and we'll start and see what it dictates us to do.
Right. Okay. So when you go back to England, what do you do there? Are you still so you got your Nessie thing, you got a few things on the back burner, and things you've done, and things maybe you're pushing a little on the internet, and you're reworking One Giant Leap. I guess
Yeah.
is that taking a lot of your time?
My God, you make me sound so busy.
You are, huh? You're a
Yeah,
busy
no,
man.
no, I'm not. That's the main thing. And I have got a lot of things going on, but I'm not busy like I was. You know, it's will you still need me? Will you still feed me next year for me? So,
Oh yeah.
so it's interesting as I get older, as I want to slow down. But however, there's some like at the moment I'm working on like Krishna Das. He asked me to film and record a gig he did in London. So I did. I'm just working on that at the moment, which is really beautiful. And that's like a gig, which is really nice. Like it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, which was because often with the very big idea, One Giant Leap kind of projects, you don't really know what it is. Even when it's finished, you're not even quite sure. Is it finished? You know what you know.
Right.
So with this, when you get a job like this, like it's a gig, and they want this, that, this is the format, and it's lovely. Like 3 days later, job done.
So for people out there who might not know Kushner Das, we were talking about him earlier, but fill them in a little on the what he does.
Krishna Das, he sings the Hindu religious songs, the Hindi songs, and he is a West Coast man who. Sorry, I'm just getting on complete brain lock. Boom. Okay, Krishna Das. Yeah, he went to India with Ram Dass. He discovered how the music there in India. He came back. He's been singing the bhajans forever and ever and ever, and he has really amazing following. And he's a really great guy. He was in the One Giant Leap, and he was singing at the Union Chapel in Islington. 2 nights, 1,000 people, sold out each night. It's quite amazing, and the vibe in there was really, really amazing, and a really multi-dimensional audience. And no, it's beautiful.
Right. Okay. Cool. Krishna Das. Yeah. But the name, not probably many of the people out there might not know. They know Ram Dass, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, but who knows? But it's cool. All these cool eclectic things happening in the background, music, spirituality. Like you say, the world's in a crazy place, but many cool things are coming out of it. And something that I know my American audience probably won't know about. You were a Womble.
I know. I wasn't a Womble. I think Ben thinks I was a Womble, but I'll tell you what, I was a Bay City roller.
Huh? Were you one of the original Bay City
No, not the original. I'm not that old. No, in the 90s, I got mates with Les McEwen, who was the singer from the Bay City Rollers, and he was on tour with the 70s revival. Sweet Tina Turner, Susie Quattro, Bay City Rollers, and Mud, I think it was. I can't remember the other one. And so and I played bass for the Bay City Rollers.
Did he dress up in the nice, cool outfits?
With a tartan thing. Yeah, I even had a bass with elastic.
Okay. Yeah. Don't cover your face. Something to be proud of. Yeah, no, it's good. I like it.
But I wasn't a Womble.
So what's the Womble thing?
Do you know what the Womble
I know what the Wombles are, but why does Ben think you're a Womble?
I'm not quite sure. He thinks I am a Womble.
He thinks you're all Womble. For the American audience out there, Wombles was a TV show in Britain, kind of quirky in the 70s, yeah? Yeah.
Something like that.
Tandems they rode or something like that?
They live
big long bicycles, and did they ride big long bicycles?
Yeah, they did all that. It was Monty Python as well.
Oh, okay, right, okay. It's Wombles, yeah, Monty Python. My kids will like that. So, so it's really great. It's great talking about this stuff because there's too much stuff out there that could draw you into the negative and draw you into like this scenario of like, oh my God, what's going on? There's good stuff going on all around us. You're a part of that. You're putting some music out. You're putting a smile on people's faces. You're getting some eclectic music out there, and who knows what's going to happen with this album that this maybe long disc, whatever it's called. What's it called when you do 5-6 songs on a disc? Not a CD. It's EP or something like that.
Something like that.
Back in the days, it used to be vinyl. So it's really great to have you down here. And you say also you have an Airbnb in Bristol. And he's not a busy guy, but he has an Airbnb in Bristol. So if anyone wants to go to Bristol and stay and meet the man, Duncan, and get involved in his projects, Airbnb,
That's
look
a
up
good
his
idea.
name.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to say anything to that. That's cool. Thank you. Yeah.
There you go. I don't know how they find you, Airbnb Duncan.
Maybe.
And but how do they find, more importantly, how do they find One Giant Leap?
Do
Do you have a website?
No. There is nothing. There is literally nothing. But if you put it in YouTube, you'll find it everywhere. It's a funny little phenomenon. We've kind of cleaned everything out, but we haven't released a new one yet. And that's what I'm saying. We're getting ready for the 20th anniversary, so something's coming.
Right. So I mean, that's off in the future when you rework it. But if someone wants to see the stuff that you did 20 years ago, you just put One Giant Leap on YouTube, and it comes up.
It all comes up. Yeah, it's all there.
Okay. And and what about Hecho in Mexico?
Yeah, that's there.
So HECHO and Mexico,
Exactly.
MEXICO. Okay, cool, very good, man. So my man Duncan Bridgeman here, sitting on this very familiar place, talking about lovely things that make the world a better place, and that's what I like about life. That's what I like about my little TTRP channel, and that's what I like about meeting new people and discovering new things.
Wombling free, the wombles of Wimbledon come on our way, making good use of the things that we find, things that the normal folk leave behind. I think that's enough.
You see, he was a womble. You see in his head, he's a womble. Okay, Joe Diomede, TTRP TV coming at you from Mumble on Bacage. Thanks once again, Duncan. Thank you, everybody out there. And until next time, be well, stay informed, and keep smiling.